94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city and home of the Juan Castillo Morning Show. Good morning, New Haven. This is Moving Target, and I am your host, Jay Kemp. We do not have our brother Remedy Sharif here. He's not feeling well, so we got Grace here though. Grace the Stallion. So you can do the Super Saturday if you
morning.
That's my Super Saturday.
I know, right? Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday.
What's going on, Grace? How you feeling?
Oh my God, I am good. Rough week. About to go back to school.
Oh, you didn't go back yet?
No, I go back next week.
Oh, see, yeah, I went back.
Oh my God, how's it been?
It's I'm just not feeling it. I was really feeling my vacation. Yeah, I was feeling my vacation.
I kind of feel you on that. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready to go back.
I wasn't ready for work or to go back to school.
True that.
You know what I mean?
True that. Work is a bittersweet because I like to be off when the kids is off.
Yeah.
But when it's time to go back, I'm like, I'm feeling y'all.
Right. So you have your new premiere coming up for.
Yes, I do.
So talk a little bit about that with the radio show and your new premiere.
Radio. Well, we've been 5 years in running, and I took a little break for the past few months, but now I'm going back to iAccess Radio out in New York City. So I am having you guys join me for my premiere show.
Yes.
It's coming up in just a few days. I want you guys to all tune in. You know, Talk It Out Radio on all social media platforms. TalkItOutRadio.com if you guys want to ever find out where we are, where we're showing at, and what we're doing. But Talk It Out is a home platform for up and coming independent artists. We talk about everything and we display talent for people who have real talent that doesn't get heard out in the world.
Really? So now you start on the 7th. So are you going to be going every week?
Every week.
Okay.
Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
All right. And where can they get it on YouTube right now?
They can download the iAccess Radio app. They can check it out through my website, talkitoutradio.com. They can go through Ustream. They can go through YouTube. There's lots of ways. So, yeah.
That's great. That's great. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Really waiting to have you guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be juicy.
I mean, technically, we're independent artists. You know what I mean? We're media activists, podcasters that kind of try to come up in the game in a sense. So yeah, you can have us on for
of
that.
Of course, it's gonna be a tag team.
No
we
doubt.
got some hot topics. I play games on my show, so I'm gonna get on into y'all business when y'all come over.
Listen, you can ask me a question right now. I'm an open book.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna see how open you are.
Because
you be all conservative over here, so
No. I mean, listen,
make you tear the clothes off.
Well, of course, we go through conversations that are gonna somehow feed the people some information and enlighten them on some things. But definitely, we have our boy Tremel Lawrence from Dear Brothers, Dear Sisters come through a lot, and we'll talk about relationships and things like that. You know what I mean?
That's what I want.
And we've gotten into Kalfani Teray on to really discuss what this movement is and how we got to a point where we are divided on this conversation. But I want to first start with reparations. All right, so this is pretty much what this show is going to be about, but we've already talked about reparations and what they would look like. I wanted to go a step further and try to understand how has reparations now become this way of divide for black people. It's like we could come together on so many things that mean nothing, but the things that mean something, we just, and listen, I'm not saying we all have to agree. We're not all going to agree. Stokely Carmichael didn't agree with Martin, you know what I mean? But they still had a end goal they were searching for, and they were going for, and they came together to make that happen. All right, so first and foremost, what do you think about reparations? What's your understanding of it?
Well, you got me confused on this whole topic because I feel like we always try to find a way to divide each other in some sort of way. Like we don't stick together the way that we're supposed to. And this is
we've had the debate slightly on social media about the Harriet movie.
Oh yes, we did.
Yes. Wasn't a fan. I just wasn't a fan. I felt like that movie could have been so much better. Like the fact that it's not even talked about right now of how great it was in 2019, that's a problem for me because that's Harriet Tubman. You know what I mean? However, there were plenty of people that felt like the woman who played Harriet, there was a lot of women who qualified over her that were born here, from here.
Right. So does that matter? So because we didn't pick somebody that other people wanted them to pick, she still did a good job. She still did a good Harriet. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Why does she have to be from here to play Harriet?
I know for the Harriet movie, there was a lot of backlash because they said producers wanted Julia Roberts to play Harriet a couple years ago.
That's ridiculous.
That's a whole.
Now that's insane.
Yeah,
but so they picked a black woman. She executed the role well. Why does it matter?
She was alright.
Oh my God! You give this lady no credit.
She looked like she was scared. I'm sorry, Harriet Tubman.
She didn't look scared.
In the pictures that I saw, man, Harriet Tubman was like, I wish you would.
Yeah, she looked gangster.
Yeah, man.
Tubman looked gangster.
This Harriet was just like, I don't know what they're gonna do. You know,
but nobody really knows how Harriet was because we weren't there at that time.
I could just say nonsense. I feel like there was too much of a passive, like, scary.
You wanted her to just be straight, like, but that's your idea of how Harriet is. Maybe that wasn't their idea. Maybe they thought she did have a little fear in her, which she had to have,
right? And
to do what she did.
Well, the fear could definitely.
I think the fear is what got her so far, and faith.
But the fear could definitely be delivered in a way that looks more strong than weak. And
she didn't look weak.
She did to me. I believe her. Yeah, I really do, man. Either way, I didn't really like how they delivered the role. I didn't like how they wrote the story. However, do I feel as though there were other women who probably auditioned that were more qualified? Mm-hmm. Yes.
So who else auditioned that you thought could have gotten?
Well, I don't know for sure what women, but I know that it wasn't only black women that weren't from America.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was an example that was brought up as an example of how those that are from America, mm-hmm. that are black, are overlooked, quicker, and the person who's not from America that's black is actually received better and given more opportunity.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
And so now here we are on this debate.
But that doesn't always happen. I mean,
for every single time, no, it doesn't.
Okay.
Not for every single time, but would you say that?
But we gotta give everybody chances. Like, it's not like they just always pick Americans. They don't always pick the non-American blacks. They pick a little bit of both.
So I guess for me, I feel like this is actually going to become something that conservatives or people on the right use because now it's dividing us. We're gonna go to a phone call real quick.
Yes.
94.3.
Oh, let me turn my before you drop me. I made my radio off. I saw that conversation on Facebook concerning the actress that played her, and personally, I think she portrayed her perfectly.
Thank you. Yes.
When she had lived on a plantation and had actually befriended this young white boy because they grew up together.
Oh God, I couldn't. That wasn't even a real. That wasn't even real. It wasn't even a real piece of information.
And then he, in turn, when he heard her conversation and her prayer, he turned against her.
Mm-hmm.
He totally turned against her, and all that innocent youth went out of him. And it went out of her.
Yeah.
He had to face reality as to what life really was.
Right.
So
with their parents versus each other.
What are your thoughts on the reparations? This being a debate amongst black people, whether it should be American descendants of slaves or should reparations kind of go for everybody, even if you're an immigrant coming into America?
No, it's going to depend on that. To me, anyone who lives in this day and age, if they go back in their history, it's going to be connected to slavery.
Right.
In my case, my slavery ancestors were not here in Cape Verde, but the slave process was exactly the same.
Right.
Where we were brought on, my forefathers were brought on ships to Cape Verde. Your forefathers were brought to the United States. Somebody else's might have been brought to Jamaica.
Yeah.
It was a big slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
It actually went to the Caribbean first.
Right.
They even came here. That's where we get the whole story about Willie Rich.
Right. Yep. Virginia.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Started in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Slave masters here could not control the slaves here in the United States because they were very, very rebellious, which is what I wish they would make a movie about the rebellion that went on here in the United States, that more slaves were not, the only one we know that didn't fear anybody was Kunta Kinte. Now, you know that can't be true.
Right. Right.
And we don't hear anything until you get to Nate Turner.
Right. Yeah.
It's like everybody else was afraid. And I believe there were many that were fearful because I always say we have our Kunta Kinte descendants. We got our Chicken George descendants.
Yeah.
The Chicken George descendants do anything to survive and live. Whereas Kunta Kinte says, those descendants will say, no, that's not living. That's only existing. That's not really living.
Yeah, I think fear could definitely be, it could be brought out in a way where you feel a little bit more submissive to whatever's making you fearful, or you can be more aggressive towards whatever's making you fearful.
Yeah. You could take, for example, Martin Luther King
Versus Malcolm X. I was thinking that, yeah.
was very rebellious.
Yeah.
And Martin Luther King was a peaceful.
Yep.
Until the end, and then Martin was like, maybe Malcolm was kind
Right.
It's like when Michelle Obama told Barack, look, you are going to learn all about Black America. Having been raised by, a white grandmother, grandfather, you were given some privileges that you would not have gotten had you been raised by a black mother and father.
I didn't know Michelle was the one that schooled Obama on Black America.
Always takes a woman. Come on.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's why she didn't want him to run for president.
Yeah.
Right. That's why she needs to.
From day one.
Yeah.
I have a whole display in my apartment, my little senior citizen apartment. Display of Barack and Michelle Obama because I was just so fascinated with both their stories.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Because it shows the difference between a woman, or I'll just say a black person who's raised by two black people
Yeah.
versus somebody who's biracial.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your phone call. Who are we speaking with? I know you called in last week too, right?
I think you can recognize this.
I do.
I love her.
What's your name again?
And I'm glad you have that female on your read with her every single week.
Aw, thank you.
You are right on point, ma'am. You are right on point.
That's
Thank
Grace
you.
the Stallion.
Ow.
Well, thank you so much for your phone call.
Save the United States anyway.
You have a great day. Thank you for your phone call.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you guys have a great day and keep up the good work.
You
Absolutely.
too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I still disagree with the whole Harry Tubman thing, but at the
Harry
same,
is some credit.
but at the same time, I do feel as though there is, that the bill as far as reparations is so comprehensive, and there's so many different ways that we need to be able to roll this out. But if you are living in America and you are black, I just personally feel like you, or a person of color, period, that you are somehow dealing with the effects of
Right.
white supremacy.
Right.
So how do
Why
you?
not?
Right.
Why you leave me out?
Yeah.
I'm black too. Like, hey, don't leave me out. We all, at some point, even if we didn't realize it, have experienced some sort of racism, or some sort of, like she said, some sort of, like even at jobs. You may not realize it, but they might have picked a white person over you. You didn't get that job. You just don't know. Like, at some point, we have all been cheated.
Yeah. And at the same time, I do know that there are some white people that feel more comfortable going with the gentleman that applied from Kenya, as opposed to the gentleman that's from New Haven.
But why? Why do you think that is?
Honestly, we could go deeper. Let's go deeper.
Because they think that people from other countries work harder. They feel like they appreciate being in America more, and they work harder.
That's my personal opinion. But I want to go deeper into that because I think there's some psychology up in there. Hold on. 94.3. Hey, Randy, how you doing?
Good.
So, what are your thoughts on this conversation here?
We actually really can't determine that. And so I think it's a way to keep us distracted from the fact of the matter that this country was built on the back of black bodies.
Right.
And there is a lot of privilege that people have been able to get and have the generations as a result of that. And that there's a lot of oppression that people of color experience because of that as well. Right? And so I think it's a way for them to sustain their power by going in circles and us going in circles talking about who should get it, when they should get it, how do you prove it. It doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the fundamental truth is this country and all the privileges that white people have on the back of blacks.
Yes.
So what do you think is, so do you feel, because I know the ADOS movement, you know, these individuals, I'm not going to say that they're agents, you know what I mean, for white supremacists, but at the same time, it seems as though they are the ones causing this conversation to now shift over to who gets it, who doesn't get it. As opposed to maybe a couple years ago, I thought it was very clear that if you are black in America, you're, you know, you are entitled to that. So do you think that the ADOS movement has kind of caused this division?
I think what we're seeing, I would say that what we're seeing here is a pattern that seems to happen in the black community when it comes to social movement. We have not united collectively under one common mission and goal, and that's why our movements aren't sustainable. There's no lineage back to what came before. It's very disconnected because everyone in our community has a different idea of what liberation looks like.
Right.
The collective, right? So liberation on an individual level doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing for everyone, right? We really should be talking about what's a fundamental way that people of color can get liberation, so that it works for you within that structure. We end up talking about what that structure should look like based on one idea represented by one group of people. Like all black people aren't the same.
Right.
So what reparations look like to me is very different. It looks very different to what someone else thinks down the street.
Right.
And so instead of talking about what does a system of accountability in this country look like, people of color, acknowledging privilege and oppression, we're talking about who should get it, should it be checked to everybody. We need a system that accounts for the fact that people of color were locked out of wealth for hundreds of years. And so without your best effort, without even regardless of your best effort as an individual, regardless of even if providing free tuition for everyone, regardless of if you gave everybody a check every month, the fact of the matter is that we're dealing with issues that are a result of people of color being locked out of wealth for generations.
Right.
And there's no one check that's going to solve that for everybody, or one thing we have to really think about what a structure would look like that would acknowledge all of that in a diverse way that impacted different families, because it impacts me differently than it impacts someone else.
Right.
So we need a structure that accounts for the vary rather than trying to find one thing and apply it to the mix.
Randy,
So, I wouldn't say that has hurt us. I would just say that we're repeating a pattern that doesn't allow us to move
Forward. Amen. Yes.
Randy, let me ask you, are you an American descendant of slave, or are your parents more outside of this country?
So I was born here, and my parents that I know
And
Right.
that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Randy, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your phone call. You should have came on the show actually.
Yeah, I
Give some
love
great insight. Oh, Randy, I know. Yes, okay. Then you know what? I'm gonna have to hit you up on the book, and you're gonna have to come back on again.
Definitely.
All right, Randy. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it should matter, but at the same time, I still do believe. And again, this could just be my bias, but I believe that I've been in situations where I felt like the man that I was in competition with for a certain job was going to get it before me because they looked at him as more hardworking, probably listened to authority better, probably, I really felt like that.
Well, let's be real. That is most of the time the case. It
So-
really is. It's like anything. We live here, so we don't value the things that we have right at our back, right at our face. We don't really take advantage.
So you're saying it's mostly the case that if the one from
the
America
foreigners,
is
yes,
okay,
Americans are
is
lazy.
less, okay.
The foreigners, they come here. It's a privilege to them. It's like this is the big dream for them, so they appreciate what they're given.
Right.
My stepdad, his father is Jamaican. He came. My dad always told me about the story. He came here. He left all his kids in Jamaica. He came here, and within 1 year, my grandfather had built him a house. He sent for all his family. He had a job. Like, people have lived here all their lives and still living with their mothers. So, and it's true. They appreciate it way more. So employees see that, and they want to get the best bang for their buck. So I'm going to hire you because I know you're going to work hard. You're going to come to work every day. You're not going to give me excuses, And then they have a family dynamic. They're raised that the woman is taking care of the kids most of the time, and the man is out getting that money. So they're going to hire him because they know he's not going to call in sick. My kid's this. They know he's going to be there.
Right.
Black Americans. Not saying all of them, but a lot of us do not appreciate what we have right in front of us our whole lives.
Let's go another phone call. 94.3.
He said, "Yo, Jay."
Yo, Jay. What's up? Who's this, bro? Oh, Don. What's going on, brother? You know you're on live, right? Yes. Okay. So.
One of the things that happens is this, right? So they compare parents.
Yeah, I can hear you. I think. Do you have your radio on in the back?
I turned it off.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Go.
So there's an awesome comparison between like people who are in country to the people who came into the country, right? And that's never a fair comparison. The comparison that should always happen are the people, because we're talking about African Americans who are here, native African Americans. You have to compare them to the people who are still within the country, not the immigrant population who came in. That way they're not comparing apples to apples. Make the comparison between immigrants and native born African Americans who are in the country. And so we present false dichotomy that when people come here, they're better, or they're not lazy as the people who have been here. But if you go to the countries where those people have come from, and the people who haven't had the opportunity to leave, they mirror more so the traditional form than as African Americans that are here, the domestic black.
So.
I think that's what we get mixed up sometimes.
So you're saying for the people who the comparison of those that came into the country are better, you're saying that that's not necessarily the case if you go into that country and see the people who haven't been given the opportunity to come here.
Absolutely. Right. And so there's research that talks about like this immigrant advantage. I have scholars who have done stuff looking, colleagues who have
And so when we're making these comparisons, like we have to compare apples to apples. We can't compare people who have been in country with immigrants because that's not a fair comparison. They haven't experienced the same thing.
Right. No, that makes sense. So let me ask you this. Do you think the conversation around black identity is causing more division than it should?
I've been working in higher education for 21 years. And this is probably going to upset some people for what I'm about to say. And I've had conversations with colleagues and students about this. That one of the things that you see on college campuses is that people do divide, right? Like you have a black student union and you have an African student union. And that's fine, when it comes to celebrating your distinct heritage, because we all don't necessarily share the same, cultural upbringing and heritage. So that's fine. But one of the things that happens is that everyone becomes African American when there's a scholarship that's for African Americans. And so we see this happening on college campuses, right? Whether it's right or wrong, or whether people agree or not, this is what I've seen over the years. And so part of it, I think some of the tension is like I'm not a part of any one camp, right? It's the people who would say that the reparations should be for the descendants of slaves who are here in the U.S. is because I think those are the people who are looking at reparations as payback for something that happened here, right? So we can talk about, my grandfather came from Jamaica, or my grandfather was a slave in this place. That's fine, but did that happen here on this land, right? And then some people are like, well, here's for all people, all of us have suffered, right? But it depends on how we're looking at reparations. Are we looking at reparations for just the suffering of people of color in this country? Or are we looking at it to make amends for the enslavement of your ancestors, right? And those are the distinctions that we have to make in order for us to make sure that we even have the same conversation.
Man, Brother Don, thank you so much for calling in, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. He was about to go in. Yo, Jay, what the?
That's all right. Had to bring you back.
He's like, oh, I am. But no, and see, this is where I feel like the conflict starts to happen. It's right there. It's the fact that if you're saying reparations, are you talking about for the descendants of what happened here, or are you saying for the descendants overall? Because if that's the case, then it's outside of America. It's Jamaica. It's other areas.
But we all suffered it, so why isn't it for all of us? I don't see
how
why one is better than the other. Like the other lady was just saying, it didn't just happen here in America.
But that's the question. Are we talking about reparations for here, or are we talking about reparations for everywhere?
It should be for everywhere. In my opinion, it should be. Why not?
Why
are we gonna leave out people who also went through stuff?
Because just dealing with here, I feel talking about reparations and what that would look like is already crazy comprehensive. There's so much to it of how it would look and where it would go, just here in America. That's not including when you want to say, okay, well then there's other parts of the world. So we got to do reparations there too.
We should have American reparations and then foreign reparations. Like, is that what you're saying? Like, we should divide?
No,
that's us dividing.
I don't feel we should even focus on foreign. I feel we should focus on American.
So just forget them. Focus on us.
Listen, we're here. And, if we're going to talk about reparations of what happened in the past, we need to talk about this American soil. Like, we built this land, right? So if that's the case, we got to talk about what happened here. And so and for us to now think about reparations somewhere else along with here, it's like we can't even get past. It's ridiculously complicated. It's already complicated now. You know what I mean?
If that's the case, I feel like then it should be separate reparations then. But don't leave them out. Don't just say, well, forget them. Let's just give Americans reparations. It should be for everybody, but maybe they should separate it to make it less complicated. I mean, I don't understand. Like, we shouldn't be left out. Nobody should be left out.
I'm already confused about like let's deal with America and the reparations happening here, and let's really look at what that looks like instead of being divided on on issues of black identity. But at the same time, the comparison that is made, like Professor Don was saying, the comparison that is made of immigrants that come in to black people that have been living here, it's an unfair comparison. And if you do compare that, what ends up happening is, if I'm a person at an Ivy League school looking at what students are coming in, and the scholarships or something like that, like he said, somebody who just came from outside the country into America, now you're also African American. Automatically, that's not really fair. Gotcha. It's an unfair comparison to do that. You know, now somebody who's been here for 25 years, 30 years, from another country, you know what I mean? That might be a better comparison because now you kind of have lived in America. You know the deal of what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I get what everybody is saying, but I'm kind of more with your sister. Like, we're so focused on, you know, who should it be for? We do need a system. It needs to be a system.
But I think everybody, yeah, but I think everybody
agrees.
Don't
stick together.
But I think everybody agrees on that.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody disagrees that we don't need a system. I think the disagreement comes in on who it is. Well, the disagreement comes in about us trying to look at, well, who would this system benefit? You know what I mean? And do I agree with that debate as of right now without having a system? Absolutely not. We need to have a system before we could just start talking about who it's going to benefit.
Right.
But going into the conversation of who it's going to benefit, we're going to look at that, and that's obviously causing a lot of conflict in this conversation. If we're going to look at that, it's really like we really have to look at. I can't even see, as she said, if they could trace back really to, exactly where your descendants are from and to see if they're descendants of slaves. I don't even know if that's a possible thing to really do. I think they could narrow it down as much as they can. You know what I mean? But people are going to find traces of stuff from everywhere. We might find white people that got some.
That's my point.
Some descendants of slaves. So are they also going to benefit?
No. Because they didn't have to go through the same sufferings. I'm sorry. No.
So it comes down to what their experience in America has been.
It comes down to the color of your skin.
Really?
Yes.
Just the color of your skin.
Just
that's
the color of your skin.
Yeah, see,
that's what we get judged on.
This is going to be an ongoing conversation, and we did talk a few weeks back about reparations and what they would look like. The reason why I wanted to bring this back is because I started to notice this debate happening, and Dr. Claude Anderson, who wrote the book Powernomics, unbelievable book that talks about black equality in America, was on the Breakfast Club, and I probably should have gave context to this context in the beginning, but he was on the Breakfast Club, and then Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore from ADOS was like bashing him and saying, "Oh, that doesn't work now," and just really bashing him to the point where it was almost trying to make it look like he just knew nothing of what he was talking about, and
See, and
that's not the way. And I'm like, wait. But then I found out that they were also bashing other elders and leaders of, the black community that have been very vocal about things for reparations.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, how did we get to this debate? So is black identity now the conflict? I thought we were talking about reparations.
We find something.
Now we're talking about black identity. So it's like, I don't know if Yvette and them know, but what they're doing in these YouTube videos they're making towards Tariq Nasheed and all, you're only feeding whoever wants the agenda to divide the people.
Yep.
You are feeding that.
Yep. You don't have to agree, but you don't have to bash and bring that person down.
Nah,
you can have a different opinion. It doesn't mean they're wrong.
Right.
And that's what we do a lot. That's what she was saying. We don't stand united. You can disagree with somebody and still support them.
Right. And you can still say, okay, I don't agree with that, but regardless of what we don't agree with, we're trying to get here. So how do we now bring our ideas together to make that happen?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's what they should have been saying.
Right. But now all of a sudden black identity is this big conversation and conflict.
And they're sitting back laughing at us like, see, look, we ain't even got to do it. They do it to themselves.
Right. And then we get a movie like Harriet Tubman. So
there you go.
I'll just play. No, I'm not, but
leave Harriet Tubman alone. I love that movie.
All right, we are going to be coming right back, all right, with the electric drum, but it's going to be hosted by Moving Target. All right, thank you for tuning in. And up next, we're going to be talking about why are we seeing so many shootings in places of worship? All right, are we becoming a godless nation? All right, so stay tuned. 94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city. This is Moving Target.
How you doing, Dad?
How are you?
Well, thank you. Yes, ma'am. What's wrong?
Negative equity
equity may be refinanced. Offer expires January 31st, 2020.
Another audio. Good brother.
Good morning, my brother.
What's
How
up,
you
bro?
feeling, baby?
Part
We're
two
gonna start
coming
it
up.
over.
Don't go nowhere.
Yep, stop it.
We're live.
No, stop it, and we're gonna do another episode.